Have you heard this term RCT or randomized controlled trials? Hello everyone. I am Manas Srivastava and you are watching UPSC Essentials of the Indian Express. And it's time for the key term of the week. Dear aspirants, the key term of the week is RCT or Randomized Controlled Trials. So let's first now understand that what we are going to learn from this video. First, why is it in news? Second, what is the relevance for UPSC? Third, what did the Nobel citation say of the trio's work? Fourth, what is an example of randomized controlled trial? Fifth, what has been one successful example of RCT's application? And last, why are RCTs criticized? So first, let's know why is this term in news? Dear aspirants, economist and Nobel laureate Michael R. Kramer has said that for a diverse country like India, RCTs or randomized controlled trials must be carried out at multiple sites for better analysis and to see differences across states. Now let's understand what is the relevance of this term for UPSC so that you can understand this term in a better manner. So firstly, a Nobel Prize winner recently mentioned this term. So as it is, this term becomes very important. Also, economist Abhijit Banerjee and others won prize, the Nobel Prize, by using this methodology. It applies to the Indian context and is used in perspective of poverty. But also remember, this particular concept or the method is not untouched by criticism. Now, what I would ask you to do is to try and think along the lines of ethics as well. Of course, poverty is one of the topics in your syllabus of GS. And maybe you can use it in your steps of some case study. So let us now first know that what is RCT or the randomized controlled trial. So dear aspirants, it is a research designed for experimental studies which economists Michael R. Kramer, Abhijit Banerjee, and Esther Duflo used in their research. They went on to win the 2019 Nobel Prize in Economics. They had made use of RCT for their research on poverty. It is usually undertaken to study the effects of a new entrant in an environment. Dear aspirants, according to Kramer, the idea involved in RCT is to experiment at multiple sites and then do a better analysis and see the differences across the sites. Simply put, RCTs involve dividing a population into smaller groups in order to comparatively see the outcomes of an external stimulus. Now, before going ahead, let's see what was the Nobel citation about the trio's work. So the Nobel citation says, and I quote, that the research conducted by this year's or 2019's laureates has considerably improved our ability to fight global poverty. Their new experiment-based approach has transformed development economy. So using such tool in their research got them Nobel Prize, which includes Abhijit Banerjee. Therefore, this term becomes important and it has been again raised in a recent interview. So let us now understand what is an example of randomized controlled trial. Let's take this example. Aim of a study to understand whether a free grains distribution scheme help improve the nutrition level among people living in a district. The objective of a study to understand what the overall impact of introducing something new could be. The steps involved: first, researchers will first create two groups within the population and then put people into those groups randomly. Secondly, one group, which is called the control group, does not receive the grains or the external stimulus, while the other group, which is known as the treatment group, does. Thirdly, after a designated period of time, details of how both the groups are doing would be collected. Just think for a while. Can you use these steps in a particular case study? Anyway, let's move ahead. What has been one successful example of RCT's application? One such successful example here is the case in schools of Mumbai and Vadodara. RCT's application showed that neither providing more textbooks nor free school meals improved learning among students. Instead, in schools in Mumbai and Vadodara, the biggest problem was that the teaching was not sufficiently adapted to the students' needs. Dear aspirants, the Nobel laureates has built RCTs as a method to focus on more day-to-day answers to problems of poverty and deprivation, such as the delivery of basic amenities. Now the question is that why are the RCTs criticized? So the critics say that the method cannot be used in all cases, while the others argue it is fundamentally flawed. Angus Deaton, who is the winner of the Economics Nobel Prize in 2015, had said that randomization does not equalize two groups, and he's warned against over-reliance on RCTs to frame policies. Like him, many believe that two or more groups carved out of from a singular population living in an area may not be totally random. There may be more women in one group, or one group may have more people having some kind of distinctiveness that affects the result. As a result, the outcomes may not give an accurate view, and the very use of scientific experiment tools in social science was questioned. Further, RCTs also cannot be used to study something after it has happened. They need to be planned beforehand. And while RCTs show result for a particular population in an area, it may not be proved that the same results will be achieved elsewhere, especially if the sample size is not big or the trial deals with a very specific kind of population subgroup. Having said all these things, many agree that for a limited purpose, RCTs have helped to tweak systems and improve outcomes. Dear aspirants, I have a small MCQ in the end for you. So let's try to see this question. Which of the following statement is incorrect? A. Chronic poor are the people who move in and out of poverty on a regular basis. B. Gender inequality is one of the characteristics of people below the poverty line. C. Capitalist countries have a greater prevalence of relative poverty. And D. Underdeveloped countries have a greater prevalence of absolute poverty. So do try to solve this MCQ. Remember, this topic becomes important for your poverty-based questions. Also, try to see how you can use this term or the steps in the case study for your GS paper 4, essay, or any other GS paper so that you can value enrich your answers. Dear aspirants, UPSC Key and UPSC Essentials are two initiatives which can help you in your journey to UPSC Civil Services exam. To make the best use of our UPSC initiatives, scan the QR code in the end of this video. Subscribe to the Indian Express for more such videos. Think smart, work hard, conquer your goals.